All right, hello and welcome back everyone to Trinity Competitive Racing as we get into the first round here in Golden Class for Season 13. We're back with TCR for the Golden Class this season here today at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza circuit for the Italian Grand Prix. We're here at the Temple of Speed for round 1 in Golden Class. Alright, so before we get into the race, let's talk about this track for just a moment here. It's got 11 turns, which makes it the second shortest track on the Formula 1 calendar in terms of turns, the first being Austria. And the circuit length is 5.7 kilometers, that's 3.6 miles long, with 2 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking. Down the pit straight, we're going to see speeds up to around 215 miles per hour with DRS assisted, and that is going to be the best place to make an overtake, which would be down into the first two chicanes, into the first chicane at turn 1, and then of course into the second chicane at turn 4. And then, of course, there's another place to make an overtake, and that is after the second DRS zone at Ascari. So, with the track details aside, let's get into the Grand Prix here today. As I did mention, we're back with Trinity Competitive Racing for the round 1 of season number 13 in TCR. Today, we're here with the Golden Class, and we're here to kick things off in Monza. In the comms booth for today's race, it's myself, Formula Jonah, aka Broomhandle, and joining me in the commentary booth is Camden Luca. Welcome to the comms booth, my friend. How are you feeling as we head into the first round of Season 13 here in Golden Class?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me here. Yeah, it should be a very interesting race. We have some drivers returning from last season's Golden Class. We have some drivers moving up from silver to gold. And as you mentioned, we're here in Italy. It's a great track. And yeah, the weather's looking pretty good. It should be a good race.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible race here today in Monza. Super excited to be commentating with you as well as we head to the track for another racing here today in TCR. Just real quickly to all our viewers joining us so far, thank you so much for joining either on Twitch or YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe there. If you're watching on Twitch, follow us there and like the video if you're watching on YouTube as well. That would very much appreciate as we head into the first round of Golden Class. Also, we got to mention as well, the Silver Class race was yesterday, an incredible race around Monza for the Silver Division as we head into Golden. So if you guys wanted to check that one out as well, definitely go do that. It was a very entertaining Grand Prix. So, currently, we got Maths in pole position with a 120.966 for Alpine F1 team. A lot of drivers returning to Golden Class from last season in Season 12, and then a lot of new faces as well from Silver Class, and some other new faces as well from outside of the league, if I'm not mistaken. So, as we head into the Golden Class, who are you expecting to be up there?
I don't know. That's a very interesting question. Well, based on what I'm seeing so far, it looks like most people have qualified on the softs. I'm looking at Warrior, who has put up a pretty decent time on the mediums, so he could be quick today. But it's a long season. Like I said, we have a lot of returning drivers from different classes, so I'm going to be looking at some of the silver drivers who are going up from silver to golden, like SDX, for example. He's somebody I'm going to be looking at.
Yeah, you're definitely correct. STX has been very impressive in the Silver Class racing last season. I remember racing against him, and he was very, very quick. So now he joins Golden Class, and he was racing in the Golden Class last season as a reserve, if I'm not mistaken, and was very quick last season. So I expect him to also be very quick in this season. So it sounds like we're both expecting STX to be up there. Another driver I'm also looking at is Warriors as well, as you did mention. Very quick right now with a 121.5 on the mediums. The only driver to have set a lap time on the medium compound tires. I'm very interested to see what he can do. And another pairing of drivers that I'm curious to see what they can do this season is the Ferrari boys in P2 and currently P7. Godney Weeb and Fire of Flow were very strong last season. They returned to Ferrari as teammates once again, and I expect them to be very quick.
Absolutely. Another driver I'm keeping my eye on, which is the other Williams of Nico John. He was actually my silver teammate last year, and he's put up a pretty good time right now. A 1:21.3 that puts him in third place. So I talked with him. He ended up getting put in golden. He preferred to be in silver, but I don't know. His time is pretty good. He could be a threat as well this year in golden class.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Nico John was very quick in the silver class last season, and definitely got the pace in golden class this season. I mean, like you did mention, he has put up a very competitive lap time with a 1:21.3, just 0.2 ahead of his teammate. Now, his teammate is on the mediums, remember, so he is on a different set of compound. But Williams, looking strong, Warrior and Nico John. I think that's a pretty good pairing, and I think they could be flying out there. As Godany Weave just went fastest overall by 1/10 off of Math, and he's just put a 1:20.803. Now, before, his teammate's actually just gone first as well and beaten that time by 1/10.
As you said, the Ferraris, they're really fast, 1-2 right now, and it seems like their pace is pretty similar. I mean, their times are separated by just 1/100th of a second.
Yes, they are. That is very surprising. So Ferrari looking strong today. A 1:20.7 for Fire Up Flow and a 1:20.8, as you did mention, 1/10 separating the two Ferrari drivers as they go 1-2 in their home Grand Prix in Monza. So wouldn't that be incredible? But I'm thinking that these guys could be fighting for the Constructors' Championship this season. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. Just based on what you said and the times that they are putting up, absolutely. It's a long season, but you look at the Ferraris, they're fast. As I said, the Williams look pretty quick. And don't count out TCR F1 Racer, as he just put up a pretty good lap time, a 1:20.9. I believe he's won a championship in the past in silver class, so he knows how to get it done, and he could be a threat as well this year.
Yeah, TCR F1 Racer is going to be flying out there. He's got the pace to do so. I think he's going to be a contender for multiple different victories this season, and hopefully the championship as well. So keep an eye on F1 Racer, who was champion in silver class just some years ago. But now we head into the racing as we head into 5 minutes left of the qualifying session before we get into those final few laps to end off qualifying. So quickly before we get into that, Luca, I want to get your thoughts on the track itself, because you and me both drove the silver class race yesterday. What's your take on the track, and maybe the information you provide us could help some of these golden class drivers today?
Yeah, so I think the curbs are definitely something to look at. If you look at turns 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 specifically, those curbs can eat you alive. If you look at Ascari as well, those curbs can, spin you out if you catch them the wrong way. So I think the drivers definitely have to look at that. And you have to look at the straightaways. This track is very fast. You have a couple of really good opportunities with the 2 DRS straights. And then you have the straightaway right before Parabolica, which will be huge in how drivers set themselves up for the front stretch.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you. Those curbs are kind of a nightmare at this stage, to be honest. They are very difficult, and I find myself spinning off many different times at those particular parts of the track. But yeah, definitely have to agree with everything you just said there. There is some difficult parts of the track, but parts of the track that really make this track Monza, really. That's all I can really say. It's in its DNA to be difficult, but be fun as well. I mean, those straights are going to be great for overtaking as well. A lot of different places to make an overtake. Parabolica, a great one. Turn 1, of course, if you don't hit that curb, and you got to make sure you give some space to your driver alongside you when you're making that overtake. And then, of course, into Curve Grande at turn 3. There's just so many different places to make an overtake here.
You have to look at the start as well. The start could be really crucial for good or for worse, because we've seen a lot of incidents. We actually saw an incident on the start yesterday, so that could be a huge overtaking spot. We'll have to see if everybody gets through there clean. But yeah, going from, 220 miles an hour down to like 50 going into turn 1, that's definitely a place I'm going to be looking at for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that first turn is going to be critical for these drivers to get it right because, like you did mention, you're going from super high speeds down to low speeds, and you really don't get that on too many tracks. This is one of the only tracks where you're going to see the most top speeds. I think I mentioned earlier it was going to be around 215 to 220 miles per hour down the straight, and then you brake into a seriously heavy braking zone. And now that those curbs are really difficult to just touch, it's going to make overtaking really difficult. And like you did mention as well, the first lap and that first turn is going to be critical for all these drivers. If they can survive and get in a good position off of the first two turns, then they can kind of calm down a little bit more. But I think the start is going to be critical for these drivers to get off the line well and then break down to the first turn and then make sure they get into a good position.
Absolutely. And hey, it does look like that we are wrapping up in qualifying. I'm very curious to see what people do. It looks like most people have qualified on the softs, but we'll have to see if most people end up going out for maybe one more lap here.
I think they're going to be all going out for some laps here. There's a lot of drivers that are starting out laps. Godani Weeb is currently on a lap, and Didor in the Alpine is currently on a lap as well. Let's take it on board with the Alpine as we wait for everyone else. So down to turn 1, you're going to brake at the 100-meter mark as you come down into the first 2 turns. Make sure you don't hit those curbs too much on this game. It is very difficult. Traction zone, you want to shift up as much as possible. Short shift as you come down into Curve Grande. Hug that curb to the right as much as possible as you come down into turn 4 and turn 5. Another heavy braking zone. You want to brake a little bit early as you come down into the chicane and not hit those curbs too much, as you're going to bounce off like Didor there. He just messed up that lap a little bit, and that might be his qualifying over.
Yeah, like I mentioned, those curves are really tricky. You just have to make sure you stay beneath the white lines, and right there, it looks like that lap is going to be no good.
Unfortunately, yes, that is the case. So Didor, unfortunately, will not be improving on that particular lap. He's going to have to go again and try and improve on that lap. So we'll see how that all works out. Hopefully, it goes good for the Alpine driver as he still has a few more minutes remaining of the session. Godani Weeb currently on a lap as well. His teammate is about to start a lap as he comes through Ascari now. So we'll see how that all works out. Also, the McLaren's on a lap. I think that's same TJ currently coming down to turn 1. So curious to see what he's going to do. But do you see any drivers out there that is improving on their times?
Not right now. We'll have to see what some of these drivers do. TCR F1 racer is right close to his previous lap time. He's within a 10th. He's going through Ascari right now. We'll see if he can gain any time on his previous lap. He's going to need a really good parabolica, but he could possibly overtake Dower for 3rd place.
Yeah, I think TJ's got the opportunity to do so. He's got the pace, so we'll see. Hopefully this lap goes good for him, and that'll put him up into a further position. Looks like Godani Weeb is coming around the final corner, but I think he's backed off of that lap, so he's not improving. Fire Up Flow's time, he is about a 10th up on his current lap and going really well through that chicane. Next up to come across lap time, I do believe will be Galloway. As actually he's going to start a lap now, so it will be the Red Bull of Senni, I do believe. No, he's coming in the pit lane.
Looks like Mr. Joshua is finishing up his lap. He moves up from P13 to P11, so as of now he's on poor man's pole, which could be a good spot for the start of the race.
And STX has just gone 13th fastest, so he wasn't able to put in, I'd say, a solid lap time there. And unfortunately, he'll start down in P13. But yeah, Mr. Joshua will start in P11. We'll have that choice of tire, which will be great. And his teammate's going to be actually going ahead of him into P11 as well. So the two Alfa Romeos lining up P11, P12, they're going to get some great starting positions there. As it looks like Fire of Flow is going to go P1 and cross the line. I don't think he improved on his time, though.
Yeah, it's very interesting. As we're finishing up, it looks like Bam Bam is very close. Let's see if he improves. It's going to be extremely close at the finish line. Oh! And wow, he did. He got it. Pole position. Nice lap.
Great lap from Bam Bam. What about Max, though? No, he's pulled off, so he's not improving on that time. Wow. So I think this is going to be it. Bam Bam is going to take pole in Italy, unless the AlphaTauri can do anything about that. No, Galloway puts a P10, and Bam Bam will start on pole position. He denies Ferrari of their pole position at their home Grand Prix by just around 4/100ths of a second there to Fire Up Flow, and the top 3 are all with a 120.7. That is absolutely incredible, as the Ferraris line up P2 and P3, but Bam Bam takes the first pole of the season here in Golden Class.
Wow, that was really impressive. I said right before he got the Parabolica that he was almost identical with his previous lap, and he ended up getting a 10th faster than what he had going into that corner, so he must have had a really good Parabolica. But yeah, it looks like Mercedes is starting up front for this race.
Yeah, that'll be good for them. Congrats to Bam Bam on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix. Fire Up Flow lines up in P2 with Gotti Weeb in P3. Congrats to the top 3 there. So, real quickly before we get into the race, I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Like I mentioned previously, if you are new to the channel, subscribe and follow on YouTube and Twitch. Like the video if you're on YouTube as well. Also, wanted to mention a few things. So, in Golden Class, there are still some seats open. If you guys are interested in joining the grid, head over to our website found in the description down below and sign up. We also have TCR's Discord server as well. So you guys can join the community. I also want to take this time to mention our affiliated sponsors, as it is going to be Fanatec, of course. And so we want to mention that if you're in the market for some Fanatec products, use this link in the description. So there's a link in the description for that as well. And yeah, this would be really great because you guys could be supporting TCR as well. And additionally, we also have some great exciting news tonight, as TCR is proud to be partnering with Drink Alchemy Energy Drinks for season number 13, providing consistent 100% performances. So head over to Drink Alchemy website and use the code TCR at the checkout to save 10%. Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for joining, and please do all of that if you guys are interested in just all of that, like I mentioned. So yeah, please do that. So now we head into the Italian Grand Prix. I think we're expecting a lot from all these drivers. It's going to be an incredible race as we head into the first round in Golden Class. What these drivers are doing now is they are setting their tires, getting ready for the race, just preparing for the 26 laps of the Italian Grand Prix here at the Autodromo Nazionale, the Monza circuit, located in Milano, Italia, as they call it here in Italy. So, I guess, what can we talk about before we get into this formation lap?
Well, I love predictions, Broom,
Ooh.
So maybe that's something we can get into right now.
All right. I'm terrible at predictions, just letting you know. But, yeah, that's something that we should definitely talk about. I guess I'll go first, since you asked me. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Fire Up Flow winning the Italian Grand Prix. I'm gonna go Bam Bam in P2. And then for P3, it's really hard to predict, but I'm going to go Warrior in P3. He showed some strong pace, and so I think he could go from like 8th to 3rd. I think that would be really good. But what about your predictions?
Okay, so I am going to go with Got Any Weeb P1.
Ooh,
I think
okay.
he was pretty good in qualifying. I think he and his teammate will work together throughout the race, and he will end up finishing in first. I'm going to go Bam Bam P2. I'm really impressed with how his last qualifying lap went. And then I'm going to take a kind of a swing at things here. I'm going to go down to P14 and say that my former Silver Class affiliate, STX, will get up in the podium. He's starting on the mediums, so he can make the medium soft strategy work if safety cars don't get involved, but it is Monza, so I'm sure this prediction will blow up in my face. But yeah, I'm going to go with Got Any Weeb, Bam Bam, and STX for my podium.
You're going bold. I think that's great. You know, STX, I think he's got the pace. I think he really does. I mean, starting P14 is a big ask, but I think that could happen. And with some safety cars possibly coming into the race as well, that is going to be something to look forward to. But yeah, we've given our predictions. You guys can do so down in the comments as well. Let us know. We'll try to respond to those comments if we can, but I'm not sure if we're going to get the time to do so because the racing is about to get underway. Before we get the racing underway, I'm going to quickly quickly do the rundown of the grid before we get into the 27 laps of the Italian Grand Prix. So we have Bam Bam in P1 for Mercedes-AMG Petronas with Fire Up Flow in P2, starting on the front row for Ferrari. Fire Up's teammate Gonny Weave starts P3 with Didor in the Alpine starting P4. F1 Racers P5 with Math in P6, and then we got Mina in P7 for AlphaTauri, lining up alongside Warrior on the 4th row of the grid on the medium compound tires. Then we got Nico John in P9 with Galloway in the AlphaTauri starting P10. And then the rest of the grid is same TJ, You Having a Giggle, Mr. Joshua, STX, Ray Magic, Sir Charles, and Senya rounding off the grid for Red Bull Racing. A few drivers on the mediums, a few drivers on the softs as the formation lap is ending. We're ready to get the racing underway for the first time here in Season 13 for Golden Class. It's going to be a very exciting season. We cannot wait to see what happens as we head from round 1 all the way to the final round of Golden Class this season. It is going to be absolutely incredible to witness, but we're going to start things off here in Italy as we're ready for those 5 red lights out. All right, we're just waiting for those. There they are. It's 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go for the racing here in Italy. It's a great start for the front two. Bam Bam and Fire Up Flow look to be going side by side, but Bam Bam's got the better start and has got ahead. Gonny Weave is now the one trying to challenge Fire Up Flow. The Ferraris are side by side. The Mercedes goes a little bit wide there, but keeps it on track. Good to see that. As a lot of action as we head into the couple of first turns here, but a pretty clean start for everyone. You Having a Giggles down to P17 though.
Yeah, he did not get off the line. He's way far back now, so he's going to have a lot of ground to make up.
Unfortunately, yes, he is. Unfortunate to see a driver so far down, but hopefully he'll get back into the race. That's a yellow flag. I think that is You Having a Giggle. I wonder if he got damage on that car. Unfortunate to see that, of course, but he'll come back stronger. So, we got 8-10 separating the top two. Bam Bam leads away for the Italian Grand Prix. Further down, we got Mina on Didor, closing in on the Alpine with some serious speed, and then AlphaTauri coming down to Ascari. They're side by side, and Didor backs off because Mina has got up into 6th position. Now, Warriors goes a little bit wide. That might affect his turning into the exit of turn 10, and Math is now going to try and make the move on Warriors as well as we come down into Parabolica. Is the Alpine going to try and make a move? No, he's not. He's too far back. He cannot make the move on the Williams quite yet, but he has a little look on the inside of Parabolica as that is Galloway off the track.
It looks like drivers kept it pretty clean so far. We saw a couple of incidents, but the grid pretty much the same. Mr. Joshua up to 10th place.
Yeah, great start from Mr. Joshua. He's making his way through the field as STX is making a move on same TJ around the outside. He gets up into 10th and 11th position, getting closer and closer to that podium prediction. Like you mentioned, oh, but he spins! No way! Oh no! And that is the worst commentary. That's the commentary curse right there.
From both of us, my prediction and your actual curse. Oh, man, that's terrible. I'm sorry, STX. That's our bad. Totally on us.
Oh my goodness, I was just talking about how he was making the way up the field, and unfortunately, he spun off. But he's not too far away. I don't think he has any... Oh, he's got damage. Never mind. Oh, dear. It's not going STX's way so far. But hopefully a safety car will come out and bring him back into the point-scoring positions.
Yeah, Galloway and You Having a Giggle also not having a good start, both having to pit for wing changes, and You Having a Giggle actually in the wall, so something definitely is up there, but hopefully he can rebound for the rest of the race.
Yeah, hopefully that Alfa Romeo will be able to get back. Oh, he's just got a 10-second time penalty.
There's another commentator's curse, Broom. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, dear. Well, we move on. Hopefully no more commentator's curse for the both of us. As Elidor and Mina sending it on the Alpine. Little late, but it was bold and it worked out great. But that is a full course safety car. No, that's a virtual safety car because I do believe that's the Alfa Romeo off the track, and that might be the reason why the virtual safety. Oh, that's TCR F1 Racer.
Wow, what happened there? That's a very strange spot to crash. He must have gotten hit or something. That's in Curva Grande.
That's it with the Alfa Romeo, I think. You Having a Giggle off the track in the same place. I wonder if You Having a Giggle was in the middle of the track and F1 Racer didn't see him as he came around the corner and then just hit the back of him and was out. I wonder if that's the case.
That's really strange, but this does give STX an opportunity to pit, and he's going on the hard, so maybe he's trying to get to the finish without pitting again, but this definitely saves his race.
You know, the hards are actually not too bad for this race. I have found that running the hard tires is okay, but the problem is that the mediums and the softs are much better than the hards and the soft tires. But at least the hards don't are consistently no grip and understeer and all that sort of thing. But I don't know, is that the best strategy by STX?
Maybe. I mean, we do have a full safety car now, and it does look like the leaders are coming into pit. Oh, and Galloway has a drive-through for speeding under safety car, but Bam Bam and Got Any Weeb are both in the pits.
Very interesting strategy call from Mercedes and Ferrari. Fire Up Flow stays out, where 3 drivers are coming into the pit lane. The race leader and the driver that was in 3rd position has pit, like you did mention, and a few other drivers doing the same thing. But up at the front, it seems to stay the same for a lot of these drivers. Warrior's now been promoted to 3rd now, but what's going on here? A lot of drivers slowing down.
We just had a major checkup. Something has happened with 2nd place. Fire Up Flow is way ahead of everybody else. I'm interested to see if we had wing damage from any of those drivers, because everybody came to just a stop on the front stretch.
I think what may have happened, I'm probably wrong here, but what may have happened is that a driver accidentally overtook another driver, and then the game said oh, you have to give that position back, or you're gonna get a 5-second penalty or whatever. And then what happened is that the driver in 2nd now, they didn't let that driver overtake, because then they would get the 5-second penalty. It's that weird glitch that sometimes happens. And then I think what was going on is that they were kind of just slowing back and seeing who is going to be getting that 5-second penalty. And so that kind of halted all the grid, but then no one really got a 5-second penalty. So I've got no idea about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the grid. I don't see much wing damage from many drivers, so it looks like we got away pretty cleanly, but we'll see as they go through Parabolica if any drivers do come back into the pits. But yeah, just a crazy start already. I mean, like I said, it's Monza, this is gonna happen, but I don't think I was expecting this.
Yeah, me either. I think that was a little bit of a weird circumstance that happened, but that's the way it goes in racing. It looks like there's no harm done, maybe just a few position changes, so I think we should be all good. Warriors will catch up to Fire Up Flow, and now he's going to be right behind Fire Up Flow as TCR F1 Racer leaves the session. Unfortunate to see him out of the race, as he was running a really strong race in, I think, P4 it was, or P5. And unfortunately is going to end the race in retirement, but hopefully he comes back stronger in Imola next week.
Yeah, Mercedes both started up front, and Bam Bam down in P10, he pitted for those mediums, and then, like you said, TCR F1 Racer out. So Mercedes a little far back right now, but Bam Bam's still in the race, so we'll see if he can rebound.
Yeah, I hope he can. I mean, he did pit onto those mediums, so he's going to be the first driver with pretty much fresh tires. Everyone else is going to be a little bit older tires, so it should be good for Bam Bam. Let's see what he can do, though. He's currently in P10. Right behind Mr. Joshua on 4-lap old softs. And if you guys are curious about the strategy in today's race, the softs and the mediums, that is the tire you want to go for, but particularly the softs. At this stage in the race, the softs are going to start degrading. They are going to start degrading. I'd say because of the safety car coming out, the softs will probably last until lap 9, lap 10, and then they're going to start degrading quite a bit, because you can really only go around 8 laps on those soft tires. I tried it in the silver class race in the final lap, and then my tires fell off towards the end, and I lasted around 8 or so laps, and so it's going to be interesting. But the safety car is coming in this lap. Fire Up Flow will back up the pack and get ready to restart the Grand Prix as we get the racing underway once again in Monza. The question is, where is Fire Up Flow going to go?
Yeah, we saw the leaders yesterday under the safety cars go very late. Looks like Fire Up Flow still, and now there he goes.
He does go. Fire and Flow. It's got a pretty good start, but so did Warrior as well. He's going to have the slipstream down to turn 1. We'll see if the Williams going to make the move as we have Math on Mina as well. Warrior's not going to make that move. Mina covers the inside line and keeps ahead. Oh no!
Yep, TJ got into Math right there. I believe TJ may have broke a little bit too late, and that's a collision.
That is a collision. Unfortunately, that is the way it goes. And looks like Didor's got very big wing damage, if I'm not mistaken. He's going very slowly and letting a few cars pass. That's also Bam Bam with wing damage as well, as that is a Red Bull off the track, and Mr. Joshua. Mr. Joshua and Ray Magic both off the track. Maybe mistaking the breaking point there, but that is really unfortunate as a few drivers did get damaged there.
Oh, looks like somebody's off the track. Bam Bam. So that wing damage definitely affecting him as he is down to P13. So Mercedes not having a good start to this race.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Mercedes right now. This is absolutely a disaster for Mercedes here today in Italy. It was going all so well. TCR F1 Racer and Bam Bam are absolutely going for it. And now, right now, one's got damage, one out of the race. It has not been a great day for Mercedes here in Monza.
We have a huge cluster for about 4th place. Looks like Weeb and Dower are side by side as TJ has wing damage, and he, last second goes into the pits. That was really close.
That was really close.
Almost didn't make it.
It definitely was very close, as that's Nico John making a few moves as well. It passed Didor and was looking for the move on Got Any Weeb, so he took advantage of the situation. Thank goodness there was no more contact, as we have Got Any Weeb trying to go side by side with the Red Bull coming into Curve Grande. Ferrari versus Red Bull, as we see the two drivers coming down to turn 4. Who's going to get ahead? Is it Got Any Weeb? Is it the Red Bull? No, it is Got Any Weeb that gets ahead, and the Ferrari moves himself ahead of the Red Bull here today in Monza, as Got Any Weeb moves up into 4th position ahead of the Red Bull, who is on 6 lap old medium compact tire. So 4 laps difference between Got Any Weeb and Senya there, as Nico John will look to make the overtake as well. DRS is not enabled quite yet, but the drivers will get the opportunity to make the move, and of course Slipstream is very powerful for around here.
Yeah, I think Nico John has the pace. He was looking for the move on SFS through Lesmo. He's using his overtake. We'll have to see if he can get by him here on the front stretch.
Let's see if he can do so. This is going to be interesting. Here comes Nico John down to Parabolica. Red Bull, a little bit of a lock up there, but the Williams has got good traction out of that particular section. A lot more grip, it seems, and he is flying. He's going to use that DRS. He's going to use the ERS, of course. DRS now should be enabled, I think. No, it's going to be enabled next lap as Nico John moves himself up into 5th position. Didor now side by side with the Red Bull as well. Here we go, side by side down into turn 1. The Red Bull will get ahead. And good move from Senya, as Didor will be keeping P7 for now. STX is now up to P8. XCS is flying through the field, and you know what? That contact that he had with the wall a little bit earlier on has affected his race a little bit, but now he's coming back, and he's going to go for it down the inside of the Alpine.
Wow, that was a risky move, but he made it work, and like I said before, he is on those hard tires, so maybe he can make it to the end of the race without pitting again.
I think he's going to be able to do so.
Yeah, he did get a little bit sideways there in turn 6. It's all good, though, as, yeah, he's up to P7. Pretty good rebound from STX.
Yeah, he's had a really good recovery after that, showing his pace, and now in the back, the Red Bull ahead of Senya, and let's see if STX will be able to make that move. And the thing is, too, is that he is on those hards. STX is on those hards, so he's going to be struggling against the Red Bull and the Alpine in front and behind. So we'll see how this works out.
It does not look like he got a good run out of Parabolica, so I don't think he can get Senya this time. But Senya is outside of that 1 second DRS range, so he's kind of a sitting duck right now.
Oh, and there goes Didor as well on STX, as STX goes down the inside! He was looking for the move on Senya. That was very late. Thank goodness he didn't make contact with the Red Bull. Oh, as he gets a little bit of oversteer.
Wow, he is definitely pushing it. Like I said, last lap in Lesmo, right now, he is pushing it. And like you said, he is on those slower, hard tires, so you can't really blame him.
Yeah, you know, go for it. Absolutely go for it, STX. Keep it up. Just make sure that you keep it consistent and keep chasing the drivers ahead. But he is absolutely pushing it. You are absolutely correct. Didor also right there as well. He's looking to try and make that move on STX. So if STX makes a little mistake with the oversteer, Didor is right there, but STX has got the DRS. He's not using any ERS because he's got very low ERS, and Senya will have to defend a lot from the Aston Martin, but the Aston Martin's not going to make the move into a Scar. Yes, he is not, because there is just not enough space to make the overtake at that particular moment. Senya gets a little bit of oversteer coming out of the turn 10 at the exit of Ascari. STX now using ERS to try and close up to the Red Bull. He is absolutely pushing and going for this. He wants to get up into the top 6 and start chasing after the top 5 very, very soon. And meanwhile, up at the front, Warrior is getting very close to fire up Flow, so keep an eye on that battle. Currently, there is nothing going on with the top 2, but there could be a move very soon, and Mina's right there as well, so keep an eye on that, as there goes STX down on Senya, as they're side-by-side coming down into turn 1. Who's going to get ahead? It is STX, but does Senya come back? No, it is the Aston Martin that gets ahead for now, but it's the Red Bull going to try and make the move. He's using ERS a little bit. Didor there as well, and Matt. This is the 4-way battle for 6th position here today. This is absolutely going amazing for these drivers.
We do have to keep an eye on ERS. It looks like STX has used a lot of his. Senya still has about 70% left, so ERS could come into factor here.
Gonany Weeb, I think Gonany Weeb's off the track. Gonany Weeb is off the track. It's a virtual safety car, as Mina's just been given a 20-second time penalty, I think that was, or a 10-second time penalty. What happened there?
I believe it was 10 seconds, but definitely a collision between those two guys.
Yeah, it seems... I wonder if Mina spun, because I did see a yellow flag there. I wonder if that was just like a slow car or something like that, but it seemed Mina may have spun, and then maybe Gonany Weeb hit the AlphaTauri, but something definitely happened there, and unfortunately the two drivers did make contact, and Mina will be maybe struggling with wing damage, and Gonany Weeb is going to be down to P10.
And the VSC is over, and this helps fire up Flo. He has taken the opportunity to make his pit stop.
Very, very interesting. This is actually perfect for fire up Flo. He's going to exit right behind Sir Charles, if I'm not mistaken. And he's going to be on that pack. So we'll see how this works out, but this could be really good for the fire up Flo to start chasing after Warrior.
Yeah, and don't count out Nico John right behind him. He's about 11 seconds back, but he is on those medium tires, so he could make something work late in the race when he changes to the softs.
Yes, that would be really good. You know, the soft tires are very fast for around here, and if Nico John chooses the softs and gets that gap and then gets very close to fire up Flo on track, like right behind him, like 4/10 behind him, then he's going to be absolutely flying. Let's see how that works out. Is that same TJ off the track?
Yes, it is. He's gone around in Parabolica.
Oh, dear. Hopefully he's recovering. I think he is. He's going to come into the pit lane, though. As here comes Math on Senya. I think he was looking for the make the move as he just set a purple sector. Senya goes a little bit wide. Switchback maneuver for the Alpine driver. No, it is not a switchback maneuver currently, but he is gaining a lot of time on that Red Bull driver.
Absolutely, and it looks like the field pretty spread out now, actually. So after all the chaos of the first 10 or so laps, we have this spread out field, but it looks like Math about to make a move.
Yes, he's going to go for it to the inside line. I think this is going to be a pretty easy overtake for the Alpine. Yes, it is. He moves himself up into P5. But yeah, you're definitely correct. The grid has kind of spaced itself out, and now we're just kind of waiting for the strategy game right here.
Ooh. STX is very slow. They have caught him really quickly right here.
Oh, they have, and Math is going to go for the overtake on STX. Here we go. He's going to try and go for it. He doesn't have a lot of speed, though. So I think STX will stay ahead. But did STX maybe get a little too much oversteer into like the exit at turn 2, or what happened there?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see if he has wing damage. No, he does not. So yeah, maybe something happened. Maybe just, you know, got a little sideways. He's been pushing the car a lot, so, but it looks like he's recovered and he's still going at full pace.
Yeah, that's good for STX. But is he going to hold off Math here? Math's going to go for it, TCR. He fakes it to the inside. Didn't make the overtake. That was very close to an overtake there. I like the challenges. I like the confidence that Math's got here.
Oh, is he going to make a move going into Parabolica? I think he's going to think better of it.
He wants that DRS, and he's going to get it. He's going to get it, and he's already side by side with STX. He's just got a lot more pace, I think, on those softs, especially with that safety car coming out. That kind of halted the degradation on those soft compound tires. So now Math will be flying against those hard tires that STX has. But STX is going to look for the move and go for it. Math locks up. STX is going to look for the switchback maneuver on the Alpine.
Senya just made contact with STX. I don't think there's wing damage, and a Ferrari has gone around. That's fire up Flo.
Oh no! He was the race leader.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. It looked like maybe he just got on the throttle too quick and spun out. Crazy.
I think so. I think that's the case. Proving that this track is very difficult. It is very difficult to manage, especially at the first couple of turns. Maybe he hit that curb as well. Who knows? Is that the AlphaTauri of Mina off the track? He's reversing. Oh, he's right in the middle of the track. Watch out, everyone.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, nightmare for McLaren's, and he's still in the track. Oh, TJ, that's gotta be terrible for him, and there's a VSC. I can't believe nobody retired.
I cannot believe that either. There was a car airborne for a moment. I think the AlphaTauri went airborne. And unfortunately, he was right in the middle of the track, and they were coming out of the second Lesmo, and it just happened.
Oh, so Warrior is pitting. I got a feel for Nico John because they're teammates, and if he were to pit, that would stack them up. This could have been a perfect opportunity for Nico John to come in and pit and get those softs, but he's going to have to do that next lap.
Yeah, he is. Unfortunate to see that. But it is what it is, you know? I think Nico John, he can probably stretch these softs for a little bit more. But because of that, that has promoted a few drivers. STX and Charles, now up to 3rd and 4th. Now, Charles, I don't think he got any wing damage, but he did go off the track and lost a lot of time.
Got any weave, just got a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. That is terrible.
No.
He's going to serve his penalty, so he's out of contention. So after leading the race, he spins out and gets a drive-through. It's just gone downhill for him the last couple of laps.
It really has. It's actually gone really difficult for Ferrari as a whole. Fire Up Flo had that spin. He's still in contention for the win here. But, yeah, it's not been the best of plan for Ferrari, and neither with Mercedes as well. It's kind of promoted some other teams to get up there. As STX is going to go for the move on Sir Charles. He's going to go to the outside line, and he's going to get that move. Plain and simple. There we go. He had the speed, I think. I think those hards are starting to warm up. And, I mean, right now, SCX is in the position that you predicted he would finish in.
Yeah, I mean, my other prediction's not going so well, but looks like he's helping me out.
Well, you know, I mean, he's on for a podium currently. I think, he's on for currently 4th place, I think, because Fire Up Flo most likely is going to be overtaking very soon. So I think it's going to be interesting, but I think STX is definitely in the battle for the podium here, and that would be absolutely incredible if STX is able to get the podium here.
Absolutely, considering that he's been on the hards pretty much the entire race. I mean, that was a great call under that safety car to come in, get those hard tires, and stay out for the rest of the race. But Warrior, we really have to look at him. He's probably in the catbird seat right now to get this win.
I really think he is. Yeah, he started P8, currently in 2nd place, hunting down his teammate, Nico John, who's currently leading the Grand Prix. I've got a feeling that not just one Williams is going to be on the podium. I got a feeling 2 are going to be it, and I think maybe it might be a 1-2.
And I do like that. That is my favorite car. It's my silver car. So that would be great. Looks like Bam Bam going for 10th right here, and he's got it.
Oh, good move from Bam Bam, making his way through the field after a not-so-great start to the race. He's back in the points, though, and he's looking to come back and get some solid points in this Grand Prix after a difficult start.
Yeah, and Senya right in front of him just had a spin through turns 1 and 2. He did just put on soft tires, which, speaking of soft tires, Warrior is flying. put up the fastest lap of the race.
He is absolutely flying. He's now 6.8 seconds behind his teammate now, so he's trying to get that gap. It's Fire Up Flow and Sir Charles having a nice battle here. I think Sir Charles is going to let Fire Up Flow go, though. He knows that Fire Up Flow is on newer tires. And Sir Charles is in the reserve seat today. He is reserving for McLaren. Just FYI to everyone there.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what Fire Up Flow does when he gets to STX. STX, as we've mentioned, he's been very aggressive today. We'll have to see how hard he holds on to that final podium spot because, I mean, he's in third right now, but it's kind of in jeopardy. Because you have Fire Up Flow, you have Nico John who still needs to pit, but he'll be on soft tires, so STX is not necessarily a podium just yet for him.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Nico John, when he pits through those softs, is going to come out very close to the battle for third, which will be second very shortly. So that's going to be interesting as well. So, yeah, like you mentioned, SDX is going to be fighting for this one. And same with Fire Up Flow as well. The battle for second is on. And then the battle, I don't know if there's going to be a battle for first, because Warrior seems to be running away with this one.
SDX goes wide right there. This could be Fire Up Flow's opportunity.
Oh!
Whoa! Oh my goodness, on the grass. That's a different approach.
I think something happened with the left-hand side of his car. I think what happened is he may have hit a bollard, if I'm not mistaken, and then went onto the grass, or maybe he just went onto the grass. I'm not sure.
Man, he is definitely pushing it. Oh, we have a crash.
Oh.
Ascari.
TJ and Mina.
TJ. Yeah, and no safety car. Looks like they both get back going.
I'm not sure what happened there between those two drivers, but they are struggling to get back up to the field after what happened earlier on at turn 6. But they are going to be recovering. Don't think there's any damage currently visually, but the game could say otherwise.
STX is really burning up his ERS. He's got about 30% right now. There is Didauer off the track.
Oh, he's off at turn 5. Yeah. He's got to avoid these drivers coming in and rejoin safely, and I think he does.
Yeah, now he's got grass on his tires, though, so it's going to take him a little bit to get up to speed, but looks like he's got it gathered back up. I don't see much wing damage, so hopefully he can just keep on chugging along.
Well, all the best for the Alpine driver. Hopefully he gets a good result in the Grand Prix. Meanwhile, STX is still right on the back of Fire Flow, who locks up into turn 1. STX gets a very good exit out of there. And, gets a little on the grass to the right, but all good there. He's got low ERS. Fire Flow has actually got about the same, though. So there's not much difference between ERS between the two drivers. But what's interesting is that they are on very similar pace in terms of the tires, because Fire Flow is on 6-lap old medium compound tires. STX is on 14-lap old hards. But once the hards get into around the 12-lap range, the 14 laps, like where they are kind of right now for STX, he almost loses the car there, but they become like these really quick tires. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of that, I think Nico John should pit, because if he can take the softs to the end, I think he'll be in a good spot to where at the end of the race, the tires, they'll have a little bit of wear on them, but they'll still be pretty quick. And he's definitely losing a lot of pace right now to Warrior, who's within 2 seconds. And you have Fire Up Flow as well, who's on the fresher mediums and is catching him as well. So I think sooner rather than later, Nico John should get into the pits and put on some softs.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I think now is the time for the Williams driver to come into the pit lane and pit onto those soft tires like you mentioned. That would be really good for him, especially since he is losing the time like you did mention. So, yeah, he's got to come in very soon before he gets overtaken by his teammate who's catching up quite a bit.
Speaking of catching up, Math and Galloway, pretty close battle right here. Math has a lot less ERS, though, but he's using it right now. Let's see if he can make a move.
Here we go into Curve Grande. Galloway. Oh, that's SCX out!
Wow! Oh, that's a... You know what could have happened? He might have jumped the curb. Because looking at that doesn't look like a spin where he loses traction. I don't know, maybe he overcorrected, but I did this in testing, and I've seen this happen a lot, where you jump the second curb of the chicane, and just based on his angle, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And maybe he just skidded off the track.
I completely agree with you on that one. Yeah, it looks exactly like he hit that curb, went straight into the wall right there, because the trajectory from the curb to where he is precisely where it is, you know, where he hit that curb. So I think that's exactly what happened.
Well, I think it's safe to say our commentary definitely jinxed him today, between my prediction and all the times that you said he's doing great and he was in position. But hey, I mean, Nico John, this gives him an opportunity for a pretty secure podium. But yeah, he needs to come in and pit. He just got overtaken by his teammate. He
did come, and look at the he's got no grip. He's losing so much time right now. He's struggling quite a bit with those tires. He's just got no grip. You could see him through turn 4 just sliding around, trying to keep that car on track. He's got to come in and pit for the softs, because the softs could definitely make it to the end of the race. So unless here's another option here, which I don't think is actually the best. But let's just say, if Nico John does not come into the pit lane, is it possible that he's staying out on these mediums and going to the end on these medium compound tires?
You know, I actually did think about that a few laps ago. But if he were to be doing this, he would be taking them 22 laps. And to me, that just seems like such a stretch. Let's see right here. Nope, he stays out. So maybe he could be doing that. And he could still maybe get second or hold on to third place. But based on where he would come out of the pits if he were to make a stop, I think he needs to pit. If he doesn't pit in the next couple of laps, then yeah, he should stay out and just go to the finish.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be good for him. I think, yeah, if he does come in the pits in the next couple of laps, he should exit behind Galloway. Somewhere behind him, I think around like 2 or 3 seconds behind the AlphaTauri driver, and then he'll have to make a move on 3 other cars before he can get up into like Fire Up Flow's area of the track. But we'll see. I don't know. He might be staying out. He might be pitting. We don't know exactly. 6 laps remain of the Italian Grand Prix. It's going pretty well for Warrior right now. He's on 6-lap old softs, running a pretty good race. He's got his teammate in second position, so he won't have too much pressure coming from behind him, you know, because Nico John is his teammate, of course, and they're wanting to get the points for Williams today, so that'll be good as well. Fire Up Flow running, I'd say it's been a mixture of a race for him. He's got pole position. No, that was Bam Bam. Bam Bam got a pole position. But Fire Up Flow did start second in the race. Had a pretty good race. Was looking to win the race at certain stages of the Grand Prix. It wasn't meant to be. Unless something happens, of course, and anything can happen. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for Fire Up Flow. Also, Sir Charles running a pretty good race as well. Currently, he's in P4 and looking to go to the end as well. And I think we can for sure say that Nico John is staying out until the end of the race.
Yeah, and I think that's a risky call. Mm-hmm. But based on his pace, the last few laps, so that first sector, he was only down by 16 thousandths. So his pace actually is not bad right now. And yeah, at this point, you should just stay out. He's got 8 seconds up on Fire Up Flow. There's only 5 or so laps left. It's risky. His tires are going to be screaming. But yeah, he should just stay out at this point. Unless we get a safety car. If we get a safety car, this call by him to stay out would have been fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be really interesting. I don't know what is going to be happening for second place. This is getting close. And now we're getting into the strategy part of this, guys. This is where it gets into kind of like where people are going to be finishing. Because Nico John on 17-lap old medium compound tires, Fire Flow slowly catching up to Nico John. He's not like closing up too much. There is a 7-lap difference between the two drivers, between tires, of course. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Who knows what can happen, really?
I'm afraid to say this based on the commentator's curse, but I'm really just impressed with Nico John's performance today. I was his teammate in silver last season, and it's clear that he's put in a lot of practice since last season ended, because, I mean, for somebody that told me that he wanted to be in silver this season, he's doing a fantastic job. In golden class, to come up here and legitimately have podium speed, he could be a threat this year. He could really be a threat for wins and championships, and it's just awesome to see him doing this with these tires, 18-lap medium tires, and he's not losing much ground to Fire Up Flow, whose tires are a lot fresher than his.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you just said there. Nico John has really improved from his season 12 season to season 13. I mean, he was a silver driver, and now he jumps into gold, his first race, and he's battling for the win. He really is. He's battling for the podium here. This is looking really good for him. As Math is going to go for the move on Sir Charles. Meanwhile, Math is going to put himself up into 4th position. Now, I hate to break away what we're talking about with the Williams drivers and all that sort of thing, and the improvements from all our drivers, but I think we got to mention Math here. Now, Math is on 8-lap old medium compound tires. He could be battling for the podium here. I think he could get close to Nico John and Fire Up Flow. If something happens, like one little mistake, Math is going to be right there and going to be fighting for that podium.
I think as long as Charles doesn't get in the way, because Charles does have DRS, he's still within 1 second, so if Charles doesn't try to make any overtakes, but we're all here to get every position, yeah, Math could definitely have a shot of possibly getting up there. But like you said, I think something's going to have to happen. I mean, we're almost at the end of the race, and he has to make up 10 seconds, but if Nico John gets a puncture, then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he will get a puncture, which would, of course, be unfortunate for the Williams driver, but we'll find out. I mean, we just have a few more laps left of the Italian Grand Prix. The gap between 2nd and 3rd has decreased a little bit. Fire Up Flow, 5.9 seconds, and that gap will fluctuate ever so cautiously. He's actually got that gap down to 5.6 seconds, which is very interesting. But Fire Up Flow starting to close up a little bit on Nico John. I think we could be seeing a battle for 2nd towards the end of the Grand Prix if Nico John's tires drop off massively on the final 2 laps of the race. But all he needs to do is just survive, and if he finishes 2nd place, this will be a Williams 1-2 in Monza.
I love to see that. That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we won't have a safety car. We're under 3 laps to go. So it looks like if Nico John is not going to get in the podium, it's going to be that he gets a puncture. But it looks like he's done a great job. I mean 20 laps on the mediums, that's a stretch. And it looks like he's going to get P2 here.
I think he might be able to. It's possible he's going to be getting P2. I mean, Fire Up Flow is gaining time on the Williams, but he's not gaining enough time. So, yeah, it's either way, really, like you did mention. But we'll see. Hope for the best, of course. And we'll see what happens as we head into the final few laps of the Italian Grand Prix. Fun fact, actually, about Williams, if you guys are interested. The Williams team might be winning today, and I do believe they have the fastest lap in history of Formula 1 at this very track. I could be mistaken about that, but I do believe Williams actually do have the fastest lap. That was set by John Pablo Montoya in 2003. For Williams BMW back in those days, and I do believe that currently is the fastest lap in all of Formula 1 history at this particular track.
Man, if you told somebody that's new to F1 that the Williams had the fastest lap in F1 history, I mean that's pretty insane, actually.
Yeah, I mean the Williams nowadays, I mean they have some point scoring positions, but they were nothing like they were in the previous days. Like Williams BMW, they were in the hunt for the championship in 2003, and then in the 90s as well, they were pretty much the most dominant team in Formula 1. And then here in TCR, we got Williams 1-2, and then of course in the real world, they're kind of struggling. Hopefully those 2022 regulations help out though.
Absolutely, and real quick before we start the final lap, so Nico John has stretched the tires, but what about Charles on 21 laps? And Galloway has made the mediums go 23 laps. So I'm going to take note of this for next season, and I think Platinum drivers are really going to look at this as the medium tires are making it almost the entirety of the race. That's just crazy to me.
Yes, this is very good information for next season when we race, hopefully in Monza if we get the chance to do so. And then also, like you did mention, for Platinum drivers, if you guys are listening, this is really good information for the future, showing that the medium tires can last for a pretty big difference, for a pretty big way. I mean, 23 laps on the mediums, about to begin 24 from Galloway. I mean, that's a pretty big achievement, and just showing how long the mediums, how long the mediums can go. So good information for the race tomorrow in Platinum.
Absolutely, and it looks like we are on the final lap. So Warrior, after doing the medium to soft strategy, it was a great call. I definitely think the safety cars early on helped them out a ton. But yeah, I mean, great start for the Williams this year, and I don't know, did either of us pick Warrior in our podium? I think you did.
I think I may have. I picked him for P3 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so looks like one of our picks wasn't cursed, which is nice. Yeah, but it looks like he's about to go through Parabolica and take the checkered flag.
Well, Warrior, he started P8 in the Grand Prix here in Italy. He's coming around Parabolica to make this a Williams 1-2 in Italy. Warrior wins the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza to start off the season here in Season 13. It's fireworks ablaze for the British team as Williams score 1-2 in Italy. Nico John completes those two Williams drivers. It is a very good job by the Williams drivers here today as Fire Flow completes the podium, but just gotta keep saying, Williams, congrats, 1-2 in Italy. It is Warrior ahead of Nico John and Fire Up Flow completing the first round here in Italy, and what a first round that was to begin the first race here in Season 13 for Golden Class.
Absolutely. Just have to note Senya crashed on the last lap through Lesmo, was looking at points but won't get any today, so disappointing for him. But it looks like Galloway made the tires go 25 laps. That is incredible. Yeah,
I mean, that is a pretty great achievement, you know? So congrats on that, you know? I didn't know about that, really.
Yeah, me neither. I would have done it yesterday if I knew that.
Same here, completely. Well, congrats to Warrior. He picks up the first win of season number 13 for TCR's Golden Class, the second division in the league. So it is Warrior that grabs the win with his teammate joining him on the podium. And we got to say it again, congrats to Nico John. I mean, he's had some big improvements from his time in Silver Class over to Golden Class. So congrats on P2. And also congrats to Fire Flow on third position for the Scuderia here at their home Grand Prix. So that is the top three for the Italian Grand Prix. That's the results. Warriors grabs P1 for Williams with a 122.383 as the fastest lap of a Grand Prix as well. So he grabbed the full 26 points here today, the max amount of points you can get for the race. Nico John in P2 with Fire Up Flow in P3. Math made it up into P4, so good points for Alpine. The reserve drivers, P5 and P6, Sir Charles and Galloway surviving on those medium compound tires for quite a while. Bam Bam finishes in P7 with Didor in P8, Goddini Weave in P9, and Ray Magic in the Red Bull completing the top 10 for Red Bull Racing here today in Italy. But it is Williams' day here at Monza at the Italian Grand Prix to start off Golden Class. What an exciting race.
Absolutely. If this is any sign for what the season is going to be like, man, I might want to be in this booth every week. I mean, this was a great race, and I don't know if this... I think this definitely gave us a sign of who's quick and who's not, but with all the chaos and all the crashes, I think we still have to wait another week or two to really get an idea as to who's going to be competing for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be like a few races till we understand who is going to be fighting for the championship and who's going to be the driver that's kind of leading us away here in Golden. But I think this is a good sign of what's to come. This means that we're going to get a really good championship. I got a good feeling about Williams. Warrior Nico John really pulled off a great race. I think here in Italy, I think we missed out on seeing some other teams in the mix, though, because I really think Ferrari and Mercedes were in there to win the championship, in there to win the race, and I think will be in contention for the racing and the championship and all that sort of thing later on. So we'll see how that all works out. So before we end off the stream, I think we're going to get our top 3 drivers in the commentary booth so we can get them a quick interview. Luca, would you mind inviting our 3 drivers to the commentary booth?
I would not mind at all. I'll do that right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And while you do that, I'm going to leave the session so we can get to the showroom, get the drivers' cars out on screen so we can see everyone's cars, of course. But yeah, just want to say, while Luca's doing that, an incredible race it truly was from all of our drivers here today at Golden Class in Trinity Competitive Racing. It was a very, very well-deserved win by Warrior and well-deserved points for Williams as well. That was great to see for the team. So that is great for them. So before we head into the interviews, I just want to mention one more time. I already said this during the stream, but I'm going to do it one more time. So if you guys are new to the Golden Class and to the TCR, of course, definitely join the Discord. And we still have a few more Golden Class seats in the division. So definitely go join the server if you're interested in becoming a driver for this division, and sign up for Golden Class. That would be very much appreciated. Also, I just want to mention our affiliated partners, Fanatec. If you're interested in grabbing some stuff from Fanatec, definitely go check out the link in the description. This will also be helping out to support TCR, so this will be great as well. Also, I wanted to let you guys all know that we're also proud to partner with Drink Alchemy Energy Drinks for season number 13, providing consistent 100% performances. So head over to the Drink Alchemy website and use the code TCR as checkout to save 10% on buying all that sort of thing. So guys, just go do that if you're interested in all that sort of thing. I think we have a few podium drivers coming in. So guys, if you have just joined in, if you guys can quickly check your settings and make sure we are able to hear you on stream, there should be an option that says like always allow. If you guys have that clicked on, that would be great. All right, and Luca, were we able to get all 3 drivers in?
Yes, they are all in here.
Perfect. All right, so let's start off with our 3rd place finisher. We'll move up to first throughout this interview between our 3 drivers. So, Fire Up Flow, can you hear me? And also, is your setting on so we can hear you on YouTube and Twitch?
Yeah. I can hear you, and I checked, yep.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So first off, I want to say congrats on your race here today. You grabbed P3 in the Italian Grand Prix, also a podium for Ferrari in their home Grand Prix as well. So just talk us through how that race went for you and just talk us through everything.
Yeah, I would say I was surprised at the lap times for qualifying. I was talking to God Annie Reeve, and I think he did a 20.3 in practice, and so we were thinking, and I'm normally right around him, so we were thinking, ideally we do a 25, and we'll definitely be in top 10. So I was surprised to be 27 being the pole lap. I think we all maybe had some bad first qualifyings, but yeah, either way, it was a relatively boring race for me. I had one spin, which I think cost me 2nd place, but it was otherwise a pretty standard race. Just tried to stay consistent. This track can be tricky. A lot of curves can be messy. And so I'm just happy to stay clean, stay out of everyone's mess, and yeah, just have a nice, lovely drive into the podium. So happy.
All right. Yeah, you had an amazing race. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the Grand Prix. So Before I pass on the questions to Luca, I'm going to ask one more question to you. Since it is the first race of the season, I want to ask what your thoughts about this upcoming season. Are you excited for season 13? Also, what are you thinking about the next track in Imola? How do you perform at Imola? What's your thoughts on the next race in Imola and also just the season ahead?
Super pumped about the season. Really excited. I think I'm only gonna miss one. I should only have to miss one race, which would be the third. So I'll definitely be at Imola, but it's always gonna be I have not done many laps there. I mean, probably less than 20 total. So I'm definitely gonna have to do some practice this week, but looking forward to it. It was a fun track from what I've raced on it so far.
All right. Yeah, we'll definitely see you in Imola. Yeah, good luck on the season as well. But I'm going to pass over the questions to Luca. Luca, do you have any questions for Fire Up Flow?
Yes, I do. So first of all, Fire Up Flow, congrats on the podium. It's a great way to start off the season. So I saw you did a soft medium strategy, and Warrior ended up doing a medium soft, and it looked like it worked out for him better. Now, granted, we did have some safety cars and then your spin, but looking back, would you still do the soft medium strategy, or would you have done something different, like possibly a medium soft strategy?
Yeah, I think if I was outside top 10, I was putting on mediums, but my pace was not good enough on mediums to qualify top 10. I guess I didn't try, but I don't think it was. So I think looking back, it's still the right decision to try to start on soft. But if you're fast enough to get up there and qualify on mediums, absolutely go for it. But yeah, I don't think I'd do anything different. And we had a safety car, I think on lap 4 or something, 3 or 4, and there's some people pitting in. I stayed out and tried to stretch those softs. I don't think I really could have done anything different. I think Warrior's on mediums. I don't remember where he started, but I think if you're in the top 10 to start, that's fantastic. And it would have been really hard to beat going soft to mediums against him anyways. So I'm happy to be on the podium. And overall, besides one little spin, good first race.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's all that I got. So congrats on the 3rd place, and yeah, hopefully the rest of the season is as good as it was today.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, so yeah, thank you so much, Fire Up Flow, for joining us. Now we're going to move on to Nico John, finishing in P2 for the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. Nico, congrats on the podium. Can you hear me? And do you have the settings set so we can hear you on social media?
I can hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I do believe we can. Yeah, so good.
Fantastic.
Okay, awesome. All right, we are able to hear you on both platforms. So first off, I want to say congrats on P2 to start off the Golden Class. I hope you are very happy with your performance here today because you really smashed it out there. So I just want to ask, how was your race? Talk us through everything and talk us through how your first race went here in Golden Class.
Yeah, I'm delighted, you know. I honestly, beforehand, I was just hoping for a top 10. Last season I was running no assists, but in silver I'm not that quick, and I think 6 was maybe my best position, and regularly sort of 9 to 13. So I wasn't sure what to expect. Like Fire Up said, I was surprised at the speed in quali. I didn't think the times were very good, but I couldn't put a lap together. I put one down at the beginning, which was a 21, which is slow, and then the next 3 or 4 attempts, I kept messing up turn 1. So I was a bit frustrated. Was always planning to start on the softs because I found that there tends to be a number of early safety cars, and it didn't seem worth it. So when it came on lap 3, I wasn't sure what to do. I ummed and ahed. I thought, let's just put the mediums on and see what happens, expecting to go back to softs later on another safety car or whatever. But then just kept going. There was a couple of virtuals, but no safety. The gap behind was pretty substantial, so I just thought push on, and ended up doing about 23, I think, laps on those. They were pretty cooked at the end, but yeah, I'm super chuffed. I think I did a double overtake as well. I need to try and find it out. There was, I think the first chicane and the second chicane, I was pretty average, but I was getting very good exits off Palabra at the end there, which meant that I seemed to be able to hold the position, and I got a couple of nice exits, which kept people at bay. And yeah, you know, there's a few guys who I'm sure are a lot quicker than me had accidents or got caught up in stuff. So by just staying out of trouble, managed to get home.
Yeah, it sounds like you had an incredible race for the first race here in Golden Class. Congrats on P2 again. And also congrats on the 1-2 for Williams as well. I'm sure is very good for you guys, you and Warrior. So real quickly, I'll pass on the comments to Luca in just a moment so he can ask the questions. But I'm just going to quickly ask one more question to you. What is your thoughts on the next race in Imola? And also, what is your thoughts on this season? What are you hoping for? What are you hoping to achieve here in the Golden Class this season?
Well, I think I'm gonna have to recalibrate my expectations. No, look for Warriors. He was super quick, super quick. I wasn't interested in trying to battle him on his softs. Hopefully he can go on and win it. Hopefully Williams as a constructor, we can fight for the world constructors. Me, look, top 5, top 10. Let's just take each race that comes. I like Imola. I haven't done as many laps there as maybe some of the other tracks, but it's a fun track, and I think there's loads of time on practice through those first early chicanes if you can get the lines right. So looking forward to that next week.
All right. So, yeah, hope for the best for you for this season and for Imola next time out. I'm now going to pass the questions to Luca. So, Luca, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Nico
Good to
John.
speak to you again, Camden.
Yeah, how's it going, man? It's great to see you in here. Wow.
Yeah, I saw you commentating. We were teammates last season, so it's great to catch up again. And yeah, I'm super chuffed, as you could probably hear.
Yeah, well, at least one of us got a podium this week. That's it's great that one of us is.
Yeah, I saw you had a few mishaps yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't too great, but there's always next week. So yeah, man, I mean, fantastic race for you. Have you been practicing more since last season ended? Has there been like anything you've been doing differently? Because like your pace has definitely gotten a lot better since last season ended.
Yeah, nothing different. Maybe just more time on the game. Full stop. I probably put in more. I've been running 2 leagues, a weekend one and a midweek one, and in all honesty, I probably prioritised previously the weekend one. Due to a few sort of changes in my schedules, I'm less able to commit to that league. So thought, well, here we go, Wednesday nights, let's do it. So I've probably put in more laps at Monza this week than I would have done last season for the other tracks. Yeah, that's probably fair.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, hey, hopefully we can keep seeing you in here, and congrats on the great result.
Thank you very much. Yeah, great to speak to you, Camden, and I hope to chat to you again soon.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Nico, for joining us in the commentary booth. Congrats on P2 again. Also, I guess we're just going to move on to our race winner now, Warrior. Warrior, can you hear me? And is your settings all good for everyone to hear you on YouTube and Twitch?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna ask you just the same question. How was your race for today? We saw you take P8 in qualifying on the medium compound tires, and then you finished P1. Congrats on the win as well. It must feel very special to win the first race in Golden Class. So just talk us through how your race went.
Firstly, I am so bad at English, so I'm gonna try.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, I think the medium soft was the correct strategy. Finishing soft was so good, so I tried that and going so well.
Well, yeah, you had a brilliant race. The strategy seemed to work out great. You were in the right time at just the right moment, that was perfect for you. and P1 of the flag, man. I mean, congrats. Also, Williams won 2 as well. That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm happy for the win, but happy too for Nico is, yeah, it's acting for the constructor, so it's gonna see what happened in the championship.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess I gotta ask, how are you feeling about the next track in Imola, and also how are you feeling about the season ahead? Is this a sign of what's to come in the racing? What are you expecting for the upcoming season in TCR?
Well, for Imola, I'm expecting not to spin, so let's see what's gonna happen. And yeah, it's a hard track, but really, that second chicane is really hard for me. But let's see what happens.
Well, all the best for the racing in TCR for the rest of the season. And once again, congrats on P1 and the first win of Golden Class in Season 13. So congrats. So I'm going to move the questions on to Luca. Ask away, Luca.
Yeah, Warrior, congrats on the win. Great
you.
way to start off the season. Yeah, you're welcome. So, as he mentioned, you did the medium to soft strategy, which kind of put you towards the middle of the pack for the start of the race, which can be chaotic, especially at Italy. Were you worried about the start of the race possibly getting into an accident, or were you pretty confident that you were just going to drive your way to the front and just avoid all of the chaos?
Yeah, always we had to be so careful in the third one, most in Monza, but it's going so well. So I was so cautious, and well, when I had to pit for soft, luckily I have a virtual safety card, so was what give me the P2, I think, when I go out for the pit in the pit. So yeah, was perfect.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on the win. It's a great way to start off the season. You're the points leader, so hopefully you can stay the points leader the rest of the season.
Let's see, but it's not gonna be so easy, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, congrats on the podium and congrats on the win, Warrior. Hope to be seeing more of it in the future, like Lucas said, you know. So yeah, just congrats and all the best.
Yeah, yeah, I'm super happy. So yeah, thank you and good night.
All right, have a good night. So I think that's going to be ending things off here, guys, for the Golden Class race here in Season 13, the first round of the Golden Class race this season. Many more rounds to come, guys. We got an incredible calendar, an incredible championship that is to come here in Golden Class of Trinity Competitive Racing. So before we end off, Luca, I want to say thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box. It was a lot of fun to commentate with you, and I hope we can do this in the future.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a little while since I've done this. I used to commentate for a different league, but this was about a year ago now. So, yeah, it's kind of refreshing, and after what I saw today, I would absolutely love to be back.
Yeah, I think the viewers would want you back as well. I mean, I did hear a few comments that came in that people really enjoyed the commentary by both of us. So, yeah, yeah, thank you again for joining me. I hope to see you in the commentary box with us two commentating in the future. So, viewers, that is going to conclude everything for the Italian Grand Prix here in Golden Class for season number 13. And so I think we're going to call it a night here today. But before we do that, I want to quickly mention this is not the end of the weekend for TCR, because tomorrow we'll be having the Platinum class, and that is going to be at the same Grand Prix. That's going to be the top division in Trinity Competitive Racing. So it's going to be the exact same time. It's going to be starting at 8:45 Eastern time, and I do believe that is 5:45 Pacific time. So if you guys want to go check that out, definitely go do so. That's going to be on tomorrow for the Platinum class Italian Grand Prix. But next up in Golden, as you probably have heard, we'll be heading to Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. We'll be heading to the Imola City for round 2 in in Golden Class. That's going to be absolutely incredible to see how those drivers do at the race in Imola. So thank you again, Luca. Thank you guys all for watching. Subscribe and follow. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. And if you're watching on Twitch, follow Trinity Competitive Racing to see more content like this. Like the video also if you're watching it on YouTube. That would really much appreciate. I lost my words. Anyway, I did lose my words there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Formula Jonah, aka Broomhandle, signing off. And that's Camden Luca signing off as well. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow for